Jakob the Devoted Monster is the first archer that we have that is also an armored unit. It sounds exciting, but does he actually perform the role that he needs to? Greetings and salutations, my name is Deltran, helping you build killing machines so that you can dominate in PvP and special hero maps. If you want help earning all the orbs, feathers, sacred coins, and heroes the game throws at you every week, consider subscribing. Let's get his digits. What? Supporting character BST? Not whenever we have this sweet armor emblem style BST. As far as where his stats lie, 42's decent, especially compared to archers, which is what we're doing here comparing contemporaries to, but it's not a lot as far as armor emblem is concerned, so keep that in mind. Also, his defenses are not that great concerned if you compare him to armor units, but compared to archers, wow, those are some great scores, and also they're just great scores across the board. 35 attack is also wonderful. 23 speed is terrible. Even for an armor unit, that's really bad. But you know, there's some ways to patch that up. And speaking of, let's see what he swings with. Monstrous Bow Plus, you can give this to other people. It produces a panic effect on everybody within 2 of the person that you pelt. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's fantastic. I love that. He comes stock with Ignis, which isn't a bad option for him. It's going to take him a while to charge that up with that speed, and especially if we jump all the way down the bottom, Wary Fighter 3 is what he comes with. So yeah, the speed's not a big concern for us. Just a slow charging Ignis. And Bracing Blow 2, brand new skill, gives him +4 defense and resistance whenever he attacks. So that's actually really nice. It's going to keep him on the field for a long time. Let's take a look at his obituaries. We are pretty decent as far as being a wall or a deflector, but you know what, if we're just all out aggressive to people, we just don't have the damage output that's there, which is no surprise. We are having a Wary Fighter as a B slot item there, and we have a slot item that increases our defenses. That makes a lot of sense. So there's still a few faces here that fall down to us, which is great. And as far as people who wreck our day, just stay away from anything that has a heavy weapon or an armor slaying weapon, but particularly Bartra, Shersh, and Hannah have our number. This Jakob proves that he's not just here to break your pity rate and to serve you tea. He is a fantastic addition to most teams, let alone an armor emblem team. If you try to mix him into a team that is not armor emblem, you do have to make some concessions over top of ye old standard archer, mainly because of how slow he is compared to all of his contemporaries within that field. Otherwise, he can actually tank both a magical hit or a melee hit. That's the huge benefit you have there. He has enough hit points to do that, and depending on how you set things up, and if you give him just a little bit of support, he could probably do that several times throughout the course of a fight or a set of Tempest Trials. That is his biggest benefit, is that he can switch back and forth to tanking either one. Having a ranged unit, or specifically an archer, tank one or the other is nothing new. Having an archer being able to deal lots of damage to something but not take a lot of damage back is nothing new. Or sacrificing a little bit and being able to tank one of the two still isn't new. What is new is that he has decent, not awesome, but decent damage output. He doesn't one-hit kill much at all, but we'll talk about his bow in a moment. He has decent kill potential, and he can tank a hit. So here's the thing: he's not going to be able to do this forever. Okay, 42 hit points is not a lot as far as that's concerned, but it's plenty to be able to do this once, maybe twice for certain things. So don't be afraid to use him in that capacity. He's allowed to take a hit. He can do it. He's a big boy. He's ready to go for that. Now, as far as his damage potential, he's not one-hit killing a lot of things, so please be careful. But with Wary Fighter, he's definitely preserving himself very, very well. And his monstrous bow, it's a fantastic effect. Flipping around all of the Hone style buffs, that's like everybody's answer to Horse Emblem, that's everybody's answer to Fighting Armor Emblem. There's so many things that helps with. It's just an incredible weapon on a unit that actually is pretty darn incredible when it comes down to it. Just be mindful of his speed. If you're looking for some cheap upgrade options, reposition is fantastic on him. You can go with swap, but I really recommend reposition on Jakob. The reason being is because either you're going to want to catapult somebody over you so that they can continue to move and attack somebody to take pressure off of you, or you need to be able to just put range between you and another person, and reposition does both of that for you, whereas swap really only does one of those for you, at least as far as distance is concerned. Hone armor and ward armor are both fantastic C slot items, and if you're running armor emblem, I'm sure you've already thought about them. If you're going to try to mix them in with another unit, threat and defense 3 is going to help him and his friends have that extra little bit of pop that you might need in order to just get rid of the enemy before they can actually hurt you. As far as some replacement skills, Moonbow, in my opinion, is better on Jakob simply because he is going to charge Ignis way too slow. Having something that's a cooldown of 2 is a lot better. As a matter of fact, you're probably not even going to see Moonbow activate that many times without a really drastic overhaul to this character. The Valen's Shield is great because it gets rid of that pesky problem that you have where other people could just break you because they have a heavy or armor slaying weapon. So go ahead and consider that. Deathblow 3 is wonderful. Don't be afraid of putting Deathblow on him just because he's not double tapping. That plus 6 damage is going to be very, very welcome, and it's going to accelerate his kills and save him in quite a few situations where he would otherwise be taking a retaliatory hit. And Swordbreaker is a suggestion if you want to get rid of Wary Fighter. His biggest problem really isn't green, it is red. There's so many red, specifically Sword Lords, that are going to be able to duel him and cause him problems. You might as well get rid of them really quickly, and Swordbreaker is going to do that for you. I'm only going to show stats for one build here, and that's a Brave Bow build, because I'm sure everybody's wondering how does he handle Brave Bow. I'm sure you could see he handles it very, very well. He doesn't get tons of one-hit kills without support from a Hone or a Goad armor, but at least as far as the long haul goes, he's actually a fantastic Brave Bow wielder. Like I said, if you want to get the exact same performance out of him that you would expect out of somebody like Brydelia, Ennis, Leon, you're going to need to give him that extra support. But if you are thinking like, well, you know, I just need an armor unit to be able to attack at range and do it well, this is a great setup. Moonbow is staying with him, Deathblow 3, he's getting that nice double tap and that helps him out. Keep Wary Fighter and give him Hone armor to help out his friends, or whatever you want, really. I mean, I'm not your mom. Taking a look at his obituaries, 18 and 3. Yeah, 18 and 3 whenever he's attacking all the guys in the DPT. That is fantastic. The people that punk him down are the really, really heavy armored people that have a nice defense and can attack you back. So you're basically looking at Xander plus a couple of armor units there. Otherwise, a lot of people fall down, and even then, I mean, you're killing Ike. You're not killing Orion, but he's not killing you. You're not killing Camus, but he's not killing you. There's a lot of good things here. Some things definitely fall out here and there and everywhere. You see Leon down there in the draws because he has a nice high defense, so gotta be careful about that kind of stuff. But otherwise, as far as top tier arena threats go, this build is perfect. But of course, the shoe's got to drop somewhere, and here it is. We could kill Ennis whenever he attacks us. Otherwise, Reinhardt has our number here, and of course, we're falling down to double tappers and other people that may or may not be having an armor slaying or heavy weapon. So be wary of that. You're not going to find too many armor slayer and heavy weapons in arena. You might find somebody here and there. It's not going to be very relevant. And as far as everything else, I didn't bother putting down all the draws because that's the rest. 1 and 4 is not a great record, but hey, you could be doing a heck of a lot worse. It is terrible that you're losing to Reinhardt just because of how mobile he is, but it's not really the end of the world. This build is fantastic. I do want to make a final note here as we are leaving that Fire Sweep Bow performs basically exactly the same. Not as many kills on initiation in the DPT, but similar performance overall. The rating for it is actually still fantastic. He's going to get a decent number of one-hit kills, not tons, but a decent number with the support of armor buff that goes up to about where you would expect it to be. It's as good as with the Brave Bow, to be honest with you, once you give him a little bit of support. It's just a little slower going, but once again, we've already discussed he could take a hit. If you have a Fire Sweep Bow, you don't have a Brave Bow, don't be afraid to put that on him. It's going to work out really well. And do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.